Hi everyone, it's Danielle here, and I'm going to put together a sort of maybe a double spread or like a kind of multiple page sort of spread of a story I want to tell. So I've got this old Ali Edwards album that I bought a couple of years ago when I kept thinking I was going to do December Daily in it, and so I kept it and kept it and kept it, and each year I've not used it for that because I've ended up doing Christmas for like DT, so this album's still sat here, and the sad thing is now it's sat for so long that part of it's discoloured in the sunshine, so which is sad. So I think what I need to do is sit the whole thing out on the window ledge this summer and maybe discolour it all to the same shade of pink. But yeah, so it's a nice album anyway, so I want to use it. So what I think I'm going to do is start using it to tell sort of stories just kind of about me. So yeah, just have it as like an album about me, because I am going to try to do the Me, Myself and I challenge at some point as well. But I probably do that in like a smaller album, sort of 6x8, something smaller anyway. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is put this together. It's a kind of hybrid layout, because I am waiting for my Ali Edwards story kit to come. It's the action kit, but because I live in the UK and because of COVID and just Brexit and everything else, it's somewhere in the world between America and here. So in the meantime, I have the digital kit to play with. So I've used that to kind of create some prompts and bits and pieces just while I'm waiting. And then knowing that I'm going to have the actual physical pieces of the kit to come, I will then like attach those to some kind of spaces I'm going to keep ready for those bits, if you kind of see what I mean. I've also got some bits and pieces here. This is a whole like Ali Edwards shebang, because these are all from the Storytelling Basics range that she did recently. So it's just some really cute bits in there, like cork bits and then like asterisks and these little hearts and stuff. So the colours all work really nicely together. So basically that's why I'm going to have like those bits in the mix as well. I've got my journaling printed on a really thick vellum that I got from Amazon. I'll see if I can drop the link in this, because I've ordered so many different types of vellum. I'm now unsure which one it is. So, but I'll work out which one it is, which is the good one, because there were a couple of vellums I ordered and bless, they weren't quite what was promised. So I've had a bit of trial and error with vellum. But this is a good one because it's a really nice thickness to it as well. And as long as you set your printer settings to print like quickly, so like a draft, if you've got like a draft option in your printer settings, it uses like minimal ink, and so just like fires out really quick, and then you basically don't end up with, you know, it like there's no transfer, so it's not like coming off on my hands or fading away, or like when you sort of put it like next to another piece of vellum, sometimes you get that weird like transferring where it like goes a bit like ghosty. So yeah, it's turned out really nice actually, so I'm quite pleased with that. I don't know if you can kind of see, but it's a very, very like dark blue, and then I've got some pale pink for my dates. So I kind of wanted to just keep it like coordinated with some of the other bits. So I've printed off well, that's from the storytelling not Storytelling Basics. What is this from? This is from, no, it's from Storytelling Basics. There's a journal card collection as well, so this is just one of the journal cards I really liked. So then I've got some journal cards I've created myself, and a lot of boobs, because this is all about boobs. So yeah, this so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'll explain as I go through it all, and then I've got some little pocket pages as well to sort of add things into, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing, so no change there. So what I'll do is I need to make sure that the vellum is able to fit in these pockets, so it looks okay on both sides. So I just need to make sure that I've got enough when I cut them out, which I'm totally going to do off camera, I'm not going to lie to you, because if I mess it up I'm going to cry. So I'm just going to go off camera and cut these up to make sure that they're the right size. I find it so hard to cut things and talk at the same time. So like, I'm a very basic person. So I can't do that. What I have done though is this was a photograph I took, and obviously you can see there's lots of stuff going on in the background, and then I sort of punched the holes in it and everything, but then I kind of thought it was bothering me that there's so much busyness going on, so I did it again. I used if you don't have Photoshop, there's a freeware sort of design studio kind of program called GIMP, like GIMP, and if you can just download that, and it's free, and you can use that to kind of like cut around a shape. So I kind of blurred out the whole of the background and then kind of used, just kind of kept that all white, and then I transferred it into, I use it sounds a bit nuts, but I use PowerPoint to add text and boxes and draw shapes and all kinds of things like that. I use PowerPoint for everything, including creating my printables in PowerPoint as well. I'm a shape fiend, so I like using the shapes of things, so I find it much more easy for me to drop things into that, resize them, and then print them out. So so I dropped it into there, and they've got a option called film grain, which, if you can kind of see, creates this kind of slightly sort of graininess to the picture. If you kind of see it against the clear one, you'll sort of see what I mean. But yeah, so just it gives kind of something, a texture like to the background, and kind of, I don't know, just gave it something. So I was quite pleased with that. So so I printed it out again, and then I've got another photograph which I'm basically going to back to back these two. So that'll be one side and that'll be the other. Where are you off to, missus? She's on the window ledge. Oh, careful. Okay, she's under the desk. No, she wanted it out of the room. Yeah, so I'm going to sort of back to back these. And then I've got my pockets to tell the actual journaling story. So yes, so I'll go away, I'll do that, and then I'll come back, and then I'll sort of explain what's going on. Okay, I'll be back in a mo. Bye. Okay, I'm back, and I did it, yay! So I managed to make it sort of pretty close to the edge, but it means they can kind of back to back in a pocket now, so that's sort of neat and tidy. I'm just going to trim this up to sort of know that it fits in the album. I for some reason I always end up, I can't ever get it perfect. So I need to work out how to do that, but I will get there. So while I'm faffing, I can tell you about what is going on. Oh, I hate doing this kind of thing on on camera. I don't know why I'm so candid at everything. So yeah, basically I have since the second lockdown, so that was around October time, kept getting like a weird like stabbing pain in one of my breasts, and because I hate the doctor so much, I kept putting off going, and also because obviously, there's a global pandemic on, and I didn't want to bother them, and I sort of kept thinking, oh, it'll go away on its own, and I don't really need to worry. And because I've had back pain as well, I kind of thought maybe it's sort of linked to that, so I talked myself out of doing anything about it, basically, and just was sort of taking ibuprofen and stuff like that, but it didn't sort of stop. And then over Christmas it was sort of a bit worse, and then I couldn't tell or not if I could feel like a lump or something, so I sort of got all up in my own head about it. And then Chris was sort of saying that I should just go to the doctor, like telling me to go to the doctor, like a caring normal person. And So eventually I sort of said, okay, fine. So I called them and I had like a telephone kind of appointment first, because obviously because of COVID, they don't really want anyone coming into the doctor's surgery that doesn't have to, which makes sense because we don't really want to be spreading any more COVID around. But obviously because it was something to do with my breasts and you can't really do much about that over the telephone, I had to go in. So I did that at the beginning of January, and then it was, I mean, I hate going to the doctors. I really do. So the reason I wanted to do this, because normally I wouldn't kind of, you know, go around telling everyone things like this, but I kind of want to make sure that, because I know there are plenty of people like me that are, you know, anxious and don't like doing this kind of thing and don't like going to the doctors and don't like sort of worry, you know, they just worry about everything and it's a nightmare. So I kind of want to explain what happens to anyone like me that was sort of scared and then also did the worst thing possible, which was, you know, Google, and then Google basically nightmare stories, because I really worried myself stupid over something that was never actually going to be that bad, but in my head I got so stressed out about the whole thing. Yeah, it was, I really made it worse than it needed to be, you know. So I kind of, I'm just doing this and explaining it for anyone that's like me, so that you go basically, because I feel so silly for putting it off so long. So yeah, so basically GP couldn't decide, so sent me to a clinic in Brighton, so down the road from us, which is basically like a just specifically for like breasts. Basically, it's a boob clinic. So I went there about a week later, and saw a consultant who sort of did another examination, and he wasn't really too sure what he could kind of feel, and again I got all up in my head about the fact that it was going to be a man, and I sort of really stressed myself out about that, because I was already conscious about the fact that I was going to the GPs and she'd had to sort of feel me up, and I was just like, for goodness sake, how many people in Sussex are going to see and feel my boobs? So I was getting a bit kind of stressed out about it, but again that was fine, because they basically had a woman present the whole time, so not that it matters and not that, you know, anything dodgy is going to happen, but again, if you're sort of worried about that kind of thing, which I was, it's sort of good to know, and I wanted to kind of tell you that, you know, it was fine, and there was a woman there the whole time. So if you do have an appointment and you sort of think, oh god, it's a man, oh no, you know, like, don't worry, because it's fine, and also, you know, it's his job. You're not the only pair of tootsies in that day. So figuratively and literally, I'm sure. So yeah, don't worry about it. And I'm also, I bet if you asked, I kind of just wanted to get it all sorted by that point, so I was just like, oh, do you know what, I'm just gonna crack on. I probably could have asked, and they probably could have rearranged to have a woman do it, but I just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling by that point, because, you know, I'd put it off for blooming ages, so I just wanted to crack on. So yeah, he examined me, couldn't 100% tell either, so then sent me for an ultrasound. Where's my little sorry, I'm telling you the story while I'm also trying to, oh, there it is. I'm going to pop one of these little guys in here too, so let me just put something in there before to stop that from sealing itself. Yeah, I'm just going to pop a little one of these in the corner, because I think I might put a little title on that. So yes, I went into a different part of the building where they did the ultrasounds, and had two ladies basically kind of scan me. So they do that by, I mean, if you've had a baby, then you kind of know, you know, what an ultrasound is and how that works. But if you haven't, then they kind of, so you take your top and bra off, and then you kind of sit down, and they use like a gel and they put it on your breast, and then they have like a sort of like a I don't really know what you kind of call it. It's just like a kind of like a scanning sort of stalk type thing, and they kind of just run that over and around your breast to kind of see on the screen. Then they can see on the screen like what's kind of going on inside, and they, on my right breast, they found like a series of, apparently we all have them as well, this is so bizarre, but like these sort of cyst things, which like apparently, yeah, we all get, and a lot of times it's like a hormonal thing and stuff like that. So they were kind of thinking that could be the reason why I was getting pain on my right breast. But then more annoyingly, they found a lump in my left breast, which I didn't even, you know, wasn't even a problem. So I was quite annoyed and felt very betrayed by my left breast for causing trouble when, you know, there was nothing wrong with the bloomin' thing, and now all of a sudden there was a lump there. So that was when they said that they wanted to do a biopsy, which I was dreading, because this was the thing that I'd seen online where it had kind of not gone very well for somebody, and then that really got in my head, and the whole way to the surgery I kept thinking like, oh, I really hope I don't have to have a biopsy, and I was really sort of stressed out about it. And then, yeah, when I found out that I had to have one, I kind of really panicked, and I nearly cancelled like doing that then and there, and basically said like, oh, you know, we'll arrange it for another time, but which I'm so glad I didn't, because then I would have just gone home and stressed myself out about it, you know. So plus also, as I say, I'd already waited a really long time, so I didn't want to wait any longer. So yeah, so that was all drama. While we're doing this at the same time, I printed those out. I'm going to back to back them. So this is basically everything I'm telling you now, really, on my journaling, with the dates of the kind of 3 different things that happened. So this is like the making the appointment, the GP's appointment, and then the GP's appointment, the clinic's appointment, and then the results. So yeah, so I've just kind of got the whole story back to back there. Yeah, so I just said, oh, do you know what, let's just do the damn thing to get it done. So they had the windows open, like flippy open top bit, so no one could look in, thankfully. But so that kind of was quite good, because I sometimes get a bit anxious and I can kind of pass out. I think it's sort of panic attack related. So I sort of pre-warned them about that, because I didn't want to just, you know, chances were I was going to be fine, but I just sort of thought, you know what, it'll be sod's law that I don't say anything and then I pass out on them and then they panic. So I sort of pre-warned them that could be a possibility, which they were quite grateful for. Conk. And then we kind of cracked on with it, really. They were really good, and they explained the whole sort of time what was going to happen next, and like, this is all very wonky. I'm just going to cut this up. Clear these edges up. Yeah, so they kind of explained the whole process and kind of what would happen. So it's like this little kind of box with a sort of needle on it, and it kind of goes in, and then it makes this loud like click noise, which is obviously like grabbing a bit of the kind of the lump and then like pulling it out. But before they do that, they numb up the whole area. So I was put had anaesthetic, so which was great, because I kind of didn't really consider that would be something they would do. I thought they would just literally just go in with the biopsy, and that's why I was so scared that it was going to be really, really painful. But because they did the anaesthetic first, I mean, which is no different to if you've gone to the dentist and had a filling, you know, they numb up the whole area, so you can't actually feel anything at all. So although the anaesthetic isn't very nice, and you know, no one likes needles, it wasn't actually that bad. And then once they put the biopsy needle in, I couldn't feel anything at all. I could just feel the pressure of the needle going in, and it's really loud. They sort of warn you there's going to be this loud click, and then like you get the big loud click, and then it's sort of that's taking the sample. So yeah, and then it was done basically. Then I was sort of patched up and kind of sent on my way. And then I got the results like a week later, and everything's fine. You know, there's no cancer or anything like that. So it's basically just a lump that I need to kind of keep an eye on. But yeah, like, so the sort of long and the short of it is that I wanted to kind of put this story down, and then I wanted to do it in a video as well, so I could kind of explain to anyone that was worried about sort of what happened, or kind of, you know, the process of it, because if you don't know, it's all very scary. You know, it's a horrible thing to have to go through. No one likes going to the doctors, no one likes having anything like that happen, and I just wanted to kind of talk about it so that it's you know, that it's okay to talk about it, and B, if you're worried about something like that, and you're worried and you feel something's there and you're not 100% sure, just the best thing to do is just to go and get it looked at, because, you know, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's really like a weight's lifted, you know, when you kind of go and you do get kind of checked over and you're told that it's okay, you know, like, so it's just best to go. And because this is something now I'm going to have to be hyper aware of, really, and kind of keep an eye on, it just kind of really cemented for me the fact that I should probably kind of say something to let more people know that, you know, it's okay to talk about, it's okay to go, it's not going to be as scary as you think it's going to be, basically. So yeah, that's the kind of the long and the short of it. Obviously there's a lot more to say about it all here, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to do this. I didn't want to just pop up a photo and be like, done. I wanted to kind of explain a little bit more detail, because yeah, I really don't want people to worry about going, you know, although it wasn't the best experience I've had, it was the end result is worth the drama. So yeah, so back to the scrap. So I've got all that on there now. The only thing I have realised is by doing it double-sided on here, I've lost the ability to see the hard parts, but I'm waiting for, there's a chipboard piece which is larger than this, but basically this artwork looks like this, and I was going to pop that on there, but obviously my kit's not come yet, and also there's a big acetate action in there as well, which I kind of want to pop down here. So when that comes, I'll be able to kind of finish this off properly. But in the meantime, I've kind of got this journaling down and then the photograph. I wanted to kind of mention that, I'm not sure if you're on Instagram, but there is an account called Rosie Posey Studio, and it's run by Laura Lee. I think that's Laura Lee, yeah. And she's amazing, but she did a layout weirdly as well. She went and had a biopsy, but for like a different kind of biopsy, but she did this amazing sort of transparency over a picture of her face. And when I was kind of putting this together, I was thinking, I've seen somewhere someone do like a transparency, and I was trying to find it because I was thinking I want to see like what they did so I can kind of get that idea in my head. And I found her page and I found it, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe it that it was also a biopsy story as well. That was so freaky. So yeah, it just really blew my mind a bit. Because I remembered the picture, but I couldn't remember what the sort of the gist of the story was. But yes, it was just so weird that it also happens to be a biopsy story. So yeah, so massive sort of thanks to her for kind of helping me to put this together, because I was trying to work out, I originally printed the journaling on a sheet of acetate, but you couldn't see it at all. It looked really neat because you could see the whole photograph through it, but there was no way you could read that journaling like at all. It was just impossible. Even when I printed it in black, it was just there was too much going on. So I sort of took a note out of her book by printing it on vellum, because then you just get, there's enough sort of a background that the writing stands out. So yeah, so that's great. So what I need to do as well is just work out what I'm going to do with these. So printed that, I chopped that out, so I've got 4. oh, that one. I printed that one out, so I've got 4 pieces, so I can do these back to back as well. So this is a journal card that's in the action kit, but it actually says go get 'em. But because I wanted to kind of change the story a bit about what I was kind of talking about, I think, I can't remember what it said. I think it said like, oh yeah, or something like in here. So I just duplicated the journal card, chopped out a tiny little bit of the blue, and then like overlaid it over the top of where the original wording was, so you can't really see the kind of the shape, the wording that was there, and then I overlaid new text on top. So instead of it saying go get 'em, it now says get 'em checked. And then I created these boobs just in PowerPoint, and I've overlaid them on top of the go. So yeah, so it's it kind of works with what the story I'm telling. Also, there was this the hard, like the good parts, the hard parts thing, which I've used here as well, and also for the reverse, because after the biopsy, I mean, it was about lunchtime by then, we were both absolutely starving, so we went to the Brighton Marina, which was totally empty, but there's a Five Guys there, so Chris went and bought us burgers and chips, because yeah, I was sad and sad and wanted a burger. So yeah, so I've got this the hard parts here, which I then added another boob to. So we've got 2 for one side, and then this plan of action one, which I changed the colour of the background, and this is another one of the chipboard pieces, but I just changed the, I can't remember what it said originally, but I've just changed it to the don't even think about giving up, because yeah, kind of as a nod to the whole like whether or not I was going to rebook the biopsy. So yes, so, and then I've just got this little bit here which I might pop some sort of heart on or something like on there, just so it's on the other side. So I'm just going to I might will I round the corners? You know what I'm like, I do love a rounded corner. I might just pop away and have a little ponder about how I'm going to pop these in, and then I'll also have a little faff here, and when I come back I'll have a little decision about what I'm going to do about this one. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. All right, bye. Okay, so I've got all the bits. I've just kind of gone over through everything and like grabbed everything I might want to use. So I am thinking these 2 are fine, so I'm just going to back to back those in here, if I can get the right side. Ooh, and they fit. Oh, pockets, man. Right, are you going? Or are you too big? Oh no, too chunky. Oh no, there we go. I was thinking, I'm sure I measured them. What's your problem? Right, okay, so 1 in, and then this one will go on this side, and then this, I just printed off a bigger of the hard work, looks like this, to go on here, and then I'm hoping that, you know, I'll have my chipboard bits at some point, so I can always swap this out for a bit of chipboard. So what I might do is just only just put some double-sided tape just in the centre, just in case I want to switch it out, because yeah, the travel it's taken so long to come, but yeah, I just think this is the future now, so I better get used to it. So then let's put the on there, and I have got these little hearts, so it might be quite cute to use like a little heart. The colours are quite similar. Maybe I'll go blue because I've got blue on that side. Nope, that's Chris back. Hello. He's been out in the snow. It's crazy out there. So there we go, so that's that one, and then what I'll do is back to back the 2. So I will, let's see if that fits in there. Oops. Oh dear, there we go. Let's see if that will fit in there. Whoop. Perfect. Okay, so one sorted. And then we flip that over, we've got this here. And then the plan of action one, which I was wondering about popping a little something on it again, just so it's not so I'm going to take this out and not be able to get it back in there now. But yeah, pop a little something, maybe pink, because I've got pink on the other one. So let's try that. Bring a little pink. Ooh, it's gonna fly off my finger. Little pink guy. Yeah, just to give it a little bit of something, because if not, it's all quite sort of a bit digital and a bit, you know, there's no actual proper 3D bits. Cool. Okay, so oh gosh, that's going to be stiff for a while, isn't it? Okay, so there we go. So we've got the journal cards on both sides. We've got the story, whoops, on both sides. And then we've got the photograph, which is also double-sided. So what I think I'm just going to do is add something to this. So these are Felicity Jane little puffies. So we've got a Remember and Memories. So I might use those. Or I was thinking I could date stamp it, because I've got the little inserts for these. Maybe I'll date stamp it. Yeah, I think I might date stamp it. And then I've also got these, which are just those fun little discs I made. So I might just maybe I'll just do one on the edge here. So I've got a little something on the edge of a little Felicity Jane paper clip. Oops. It's always weird doing things at different angles when like you're filming, because you want everything to be kind of for people to see what's going on, but I'm just going to twiddle it because I would normally twist the page towards me to make my life easier. There we go. A little boob. Okay, so I think we're there. What I'll do is pop a photos at the end so you can kind of see. I'll put the date in there. I think make more sense. And then also hopefully my digital kit will arrive at some point soon, so I'll be able to kind of just put that big action on it, because I really want to put that big action on the bottom. I think that'll look really neat with the acetate. So yeah, so there we go. So a bit of a random one, but it was more about the talking to you about the story rather than perhaps necessarily about the scrap as much, but I just kind of wanted to kind of pop on and explain. So yeah, if you do have any questions or worries about anything, then you can find me on Instagram, and you can always message me on there. So if you do suddenly need to go and have something done like that and you're a bit panicked and you just want reassurance, then yeah, feel free to ping me, because it's fine. It's really fine. Like, you know, it's not fun. No one wants to do it. No one wants to go back again and have it done a second time. But you know, it needs to be done. So yeah. So don't get yourself all up in a tizzy like I did. It's really not as bad as you think it's going to be. You know, a lot of times these things are in our heads. So yeah, you know, you kind of panic about the worst case scenario. So and it's never really going to be that bad, I promise. Okay, so I'm sending lots of love to you all, and yeah, if you have any questions about anything here on this as well, on my scrap, then give me a ping in the messages below, and yeah, I'll be back again soon with another layout, hopefully less of a hybrid one, because obviously this is, well, actually it's not really hybrid at all really, is it, because most of it's digital. So it's just a straight up digital scrap really, which I am getting a bit more into. So yeah, but I'm kind of trying to do the hybrid thing, so I end up with a bit of both. But yeah, any questions about anything at all, then just give me a shout. Okay guys, lots of love to you all. You take care, and I'll see you all soon. Okay, until then, bye.